South Florida Today on NBC6 HD.
All right, coming up on South Florida Today, going, gone. If that applies to your hair, there's new hope. We're going to tell you about some exciting hair loss treatments for men and women.
This is South Florida Today on NBC6 HD.
And today we're focusing on a different kind of loss, hair loss. Our next guest, Dr. Bauman, is one of the first physicians in the country to use new treatments for restoring men's hair. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Bob.
And I asked you how new this was, and you said really it is almost brand new. And how did you get to be one of the first physicians to get this process?
Well, you know, I'm passionate about new technology to help our patients to restore their hair, whether it's non-invasive treatment options or the latest surgical techniques and technology in transplants. And I really came upon this device in one of the medical conferences in Montreal just recently.
All right, let's take a look at some video, and you tell us what it is.
Okay, sure. Follicular-Unit Extraction is the most minimally invasive type of transplant that you can have. So contrary to the traditional linear harvests, this is going to be able to enable us to grab the follicles one at a time, really, without the use of a scalpel or stitches. So here we're putting the instrument together. You can see that, that's the NeoGraft right there. And I'm beginning to do the extractions. So you'll see there's no scalpel involved, there's no stitches. We're just pulling individual hair follicles.
You take one here from the side and put it in the top.
Yeah, take
somewhere.
it where you have more than you need and put it where you have less than you need. This is the patient immediately after transplantation. You can see the crusting, you can see the scabbing, which lasts for a day or so. The back of the scalp is going to be undetectable in just days, and then the growth takes weeks and months to come in.
How much of this is science and how much of it is art?
Well, gosh, you know, when I was on CNN, they said this is artistry in the form of science. You know, you have to have the artistry to create the hairline. You have to have the science to get the hair, like the NeoGraft, the technology. So it's a combination. It's a blend. Now,
there's also you mentioned that there was some kind of a test out that's going to tell you before you go bald that you're probably going to go bald?
Yes. Hair loss is something that's chronic and progressive. It's genetic, and it gets worse with time. So if you knew way in advance that you were going to be experiencing hair loss over the course of your life, it would be a great idea to start treatment, and that's what the genetic testing can do.
How early do you advise? Is this for men and women?
We have genetic testing now for men and women, for male pattern hair loss and female pattern hair loss.
And who do you recommend? At what age do you recommend, say, a guy just to get tested? What if a guy just doesn't want to know?
Well, I can understand that, but I guess if you're out there and you're looking at your family members,
right,
you know, your father or your grandfathers or your grandmother and your aunts, great aunts, and they've got hair loss out there, and you're not quite so sure what's going on with your scalp, then it's time to get an evaluation, and genetic testing is part of that.
Great. Dr. Bauman, thanks so much for being with us today.
Okay,
if you'd like more information on Dr. Bauman's services, log on to baumanmedical.com.